An official chat system at SpaceX has turned into a forum for an open discussion after an open letter criticizing CEO Elon Musk's recent actions. Employees are invited to publicly or anonymously endorse the letter's recommendations, with a signed copy of the letter to be left on SpaceX President Gwynne Shotwell's desk. Welcome to the new video of Cosmos Observer. Continue on to this channel to learn more about Elon Musk and SpaceX. After it was circulated by some of their co-workers in an internal conversation for less than a day and a half, more than 400 SpaceX employees signed an open letter condemning CEO Elon Musk. SpaceX has fired workers who assisted in organizing an open letter critical of CEO Elon Musk's conduct in social media and other open forums just 32 hours after it was shared, a move that may have been a violation of labor law. The open letter first went online on an internal landing page at noon Eastern, after which a small number of staff members sent it to about 10 chat rooms, Microsoft Teams, and one email list. In the letter, Musk was described as being a frequent cause of embarrassment and distraction. The letter, which has been received, explains how Musk's conduct and the most recent accusations of sexual harassment against him are harming SpaceX's brand. It comes as the Tesla billionaire is attempting to acquire Twitter in the public eye and following a report that claimed he had harassed a flight attendant on a corporate jet. Claims must be dismissed as a politically motivated smear campaign designed to derail his $44 billion acquisition of the social media company. Since then, he has used his Twitter account to share updates on SpaceX's progress toward many launches, while praising right-wing political figures, boosting cryptocurrency, and accusing the media of being biased against liberals. The authors noticed that they received around 3,000 unique visitors to their website, and an employee who worked on the letter but asked to remain anonymous reported that many staff from various levels and demographics worked on it. Employees might either complete a survey or scan a QR code to sign the document. The paper was shared in the largest team's channel, which had over 2,600 members, mostly engineers, while the other team's channels were generally smaller. Additionally, the authors intended to distribute a number of printed copies of the letter, together with QR codes the readers could scan while they were in the kitchen and other production areas. But according to one of the people involved, no one dared to distribute them before the firing started. There was also concern that posting copies of the letter could be interpreted as union organizing and that cameras in the SpaceX building could reveal who gave them. This is not the first time that sexual harassment at SpaceX has come up for discussion. An essay documenting a former SpaceX employee's experience with what she called systemic sexual harassment at the firm was published on the platform Lioness in December. She also took issue with how SpaceX HR handled her complaints. Shotwell sent the business an email before the story broke, reaffirming the no asshole policy. Shotwell warned the staff that the issues presented in the letter threatened to divert their attention from the 3 launches scheduled for SpaceX in the next 37 hours. This weekend, we must support the astronauts we sent to the International Space Station, prepare the Cargo Dragon, SpaceX's unmanned mission capsule, for takeoff, and obtain environmental approval in order to launch crucial satellites. The SpaceX employee claimed that although many SpaceX staff are annoyed by Musk's issues, they remain as motivated as ever and excited about the future. The needs of the workers are rather simple. They demand that SpaceX hold all leadership equally accountable for improper conduct and consistently enforce SpaceX's no asshole and zero tolerance standards. Ashley Kozak, a former engineer at SpaceX, also wrote a letter in December in which she asserts that she couldn't stop getting sexually harassed there. Many SpaceX staff are visibly angry with the millionaire CEO. After all, they're only trying to do their jobs, and they don't want a media circus to break out every time their boss defends himself on Twitter after being accused of sexual harassment or posting stolen memes. According to 2 people with knowledge of the situation, at least 5 employees of the private rocket business SpaceX were let go after they wrote and distributed an open letter criticizing founder Elon Musk and urging startup leaders to make the workplace more inclusive. A Reuters request for comment was not immediately answered by SpaceX. The number of dismissed employees has not been specified. Gwynne Shotwell, president of SpaceX, wrote in an email that the business had looked into the message and removed a number of personnel involved. According to Shotwell's email, employees that circulated the letter were fired for making other employees feel uneasy, bullied, intimidated, and/or outraged by pressuring them to endorse a position that didn't align with their own. The billionaire Musk is pursuing a $44 billion takeover of Twitter and has stated his support for more open speech restrictions on the platform. He encouraged Twitter employees to post quite crazy things on the site as long as they were legal. In recent months, Musk, also the CEO of the electric vehicle manufacturer Tesla Inc., has made headlines and appeared in late-night comedy monologues due to several issues, including his attempt to take over Twitter and his hatred of Democrats and a rumored sexual harassment claim. One SpaceX employee claimed that Musk frequently fails to consider the impact of his words. Musk founded SpaceX in 2002, and it has been a significant player in the current U.S. space program. 404 people signed the statement in the end, but many more contacted those who circulated it via Teams and in person to say they would sign it if they could afford to be fired right now. According to an individual involved, Tesla sacked a worker in 2017 for distributing flyers encouraging workers to unionize. Moreover, Musk stated in May of this year that Tesla would establish a hardcore litigation department to begin and carry out lawsuits. Shotwell maintained in her email that other staff members who were not participating in the letter had experienced uneasy coercion and pressure to sign the document. We are aware that we can always improve. As Shotwell reported in December, HR has been asking for feedback from groups around the firm in order to make sure the procedure is effective. An internal audit by HR will be followed by a third-party audit. Employees at SpaceX have put in a lot of extra effort outside of their technical responsibilities to make the workplace a more welcoming place through conference recruiting, public forums, feedback to leadership, outreach, and other methods. However, we feel equally responsible for carrying out this work because the company has not treated the issue with the necessary urgency or resources in a way that's compatible with our strategy for technical initiatives on the critical path. To be clear, the recent events are not isolated occurrences. Rather, they're representatives of a larger culture that undervalues many of the individuals who make it possible for SpaceX to achieve its incredible feats. We have a special obligation to address this as leaders in business. According to an insider article from May, a flight attendant said that Mr. Musk approached her for a sexual message on a journey to London in 2016. He allegedly exposed himself to the flight attendant and offered her a horse. Mr. Musk responded to that allegation by labeling it utterly untrue and making jokes about horses and its genitalia. The president and chief operating officer of SpaceX, Gwynne Shotwell, stated in an email to staff members last month that she personally thought the charges of sexual harassment against Elon Musk were untrue. She stated in the email that anyone who knows Elon like I do understands he would never commit or condone this claimed inappropriate behavior. Ironically, despite Musk's claims to be a supporter of free speech, Tesla doesn't actually allow for it. He sought to seize control of Twitter in order to promote free expression there, but he has worked to silence any of his workers who have spoken out against the business. In recent weeks, Musk has also used a poop emoji during an online conversation with Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal and bluntly criticized the appearance of Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates on Twitter. Elon Musk appears to be a more mature version of this spoiled child who can obtain whatever he wants and rationalize it to the farthest extent. He is neither modest in his demeanor nor does he hesitate to display his money. He previously objected to Twitter's choice to expel Donald Trump from the service. The world is in severe danger if his definition of free expression involves posting unmoderated content that may lead to political instability and endanger people's lives. The goal of SpaceX to make humanity multiplanetary is very important to us, but what matters most is that we value one another. A workplace culture that views employees as consumable resources is incompatible with teamwork and the concept of making humanity multiplanetary. Because of our special position, we must consider how our actions today will affect people's lives beyond our globe. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it helps you. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.